everyone. I am here with amazing comedian Sam Ramsdell.
Yes, thank you so much for having me and my sweaty ass.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to have you. When you said yes, I was like,
oh my God, of course. Huge fan.
We have so much to discuss.
So much.
I'm just like, I love your videos.
Thank you.
I love your energy. When did it all start? When did you start, making
Putting
content?
things in my mouth on the internet.
Yeah.
Well, it was, I was trying to do the whole stand-up thing before COVID and my dream was to have a one-woman show.
Yes.
I was one of those girls. And because I love to sing, I love to do weird shit, and I wanted to make it this whole variety show.
Yes.
And I was doing improv and was starting to get into stand-up. And then obviously once the world fell apart with COVID, it was like everyone. So it was really with COVID that I started really getting into it. But it was where do I find my place here? I was trying all this stuff, writing sketches and pretty much trying anything. And then, I just started making these crazy faces. The kids loved it. Well, they hated it, but they love it. They love to hate it.
Yes. Oh my God. So is that so you have the world's largest mouth?
I do. So technically now I have 2 Guinness World Records. Okay. First one is largest mouth gape.
Yes.
Largest mouth gape, which it used to just be largest gape. And I was like, do you think we could be a little more specific? Largest gape, people are like, what? And then I also have the widest mouth.
Oh.
Because she's girthy.
Wow.
she's girthy and
That's
round.
amazing.
And so I have 2, and it really was just from TikTok and these damn kids being like, what happened to your face? And tagging Guinness, be like, someone take this woman, do something. And Guinness reached out and they were like, we've seen your work and we love what we see and we want to measure. We want to come out. And they came out and they're like, yep.
They measured.
They measured. They confirmed. I got my plaque. And the gape seen around the world, She's everywhere.
So it's interesting because, just talking, I wouldn't think, oh, you have a big mouth.
Yeah.
But
I know.
When was the point where you were like, oh, I think I got something here?
Well, it was more I'm just, if I get really excited, she grows. When I'm really getting into it, you know, she gets bigger. So I feel I've learned to keep it under control. And especially if I'm, it doesn't hurt, but it's I've learned that you're
straining.
Keep it. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I just want to let her free and she just comes out.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I am, I feel especially if I don't have the red lips on, when I was growing up, of course I was self-conscious of it and never wore lipstick, but I feel now I'm just whatever.
You are such a good person of taking whatever makes you unique and being making it positive and making it a beautiful thing.
Well, that's TikTok, I think it was the perfect place for it. It was kind of right place, right time, because it is so niche and it's it's a crazy thing to see. So I think, it just it is crazy to think about that. I have the world's largest mouth, and I'm just people are on their phone and they see my face like this. But it's fun, it's silly, and and now it's
when did you decide okay, I'm gonna show myself putting food in my mouth?
Well, so it started with, I was doing all the crazy faces, and then people would be like, if your mouth is so big, how do you eat? And I was like, great question. And so I just put a whole donut in my mouth in one bite, to be that's how I eat. And the kids were like, whoa, do 2 donuts.
You're
and so I just
calm down. Calm down.
And so I, was and of course, it's too easy.
Yeah.
I would do that and it would be 30 million views.
Right.
And I'm it's too easy. It's you would too for a check.
You're I'm just being me.
Right. And it's I was working other jobs, and I was I had a corporate job up until 2 years ago. And so it was just I mean, I would just literally be in between my 9 to 5 job, pull up to a Dunkin' Donuts, just put a couple things in my mouth and then like get back to work.
Oh my God.
And so it was just, you know, it was listening to the kids. Then they're like, how do you eat a sandwich? So that was the infamous Subway. Put a whole Subway in my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you feel like then brands start to be like, oh, this would be a good way for us to promote our food?
Yeah. Because that's also too, like, especially when you're doing it full time, you know, it's like, okay, how can a brand see themselves,
right,
you know, on your page and working with your content? And so even though, like, you know, like I did for KFC, like that was like one of my big, you know, they had the new fried chicken sandwich. And I went to go do it and I just like put the whole fried chicken sandwich in my mouth in one bite. And they're like, whoa, like, we don't want that.
They didn't want it?
That's aggressive. Yeah, they were like, maybe just like take a big bite because they're like, it like ruins, because it doesn't, you know, it's not the most like appetizing
Do you
thing.
enjoy it?
It's just easy. Like, you know, like at the end of the day, like sometimes I look at my, you know, and I'm like, did I really just do that?
I love it though. I love like, it's not just that you're doing that. It's like your energy about it. Like you're having fun and like, your accounts are genuinely like they make people happy.
And that's what I just like at the end of the day, I'm like, if I can make someone laugh or be like, you know, whatever, she doesn't care, you know, like makes me want to do things and be like, who cares what people think of me, you know?
Yeah, I love the videos you have of you trying on insane clothing. Like how did that start?
Well, so because, you know, I have the world's largest Gape, I always am like, you know, just talking about like how I'm the Gape expert. And, like,
Gape expert.
Yeah, and I'm a professional Gape girl. And so it started with like butthole health and like I got into bidets and then I was like, so anything like with a gape or a hole, like I was like the queen of gapes.
Do you have a bidet? I need one desperately. What's your code?
Big Gape. Oh, it really is. For Tushy. So have you heard of Tushy?
Yeah, I actually got a Tushy for white elephant. That was my purchase. And then my fiance's dad got it.
Get one.
Yeah, so I need one for myself.
But the only thing is like you'll never be able to poop anywhere without a bidet ever again.
Really?
Yeah. Like it's that, like I feel dirty now. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's truly nothing like it. Like after like the first in the morning and it's just like I basically give myself like an enema like first thing every morning.
Do
with
you?
my bidet. Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's so nice. It's really, really wonderful.
Oh my God.
It's worth every penny. Like me and my boyfriend like put that puppy to use. Like I'm surprised it's still
My concern
rocking.
is the installation. Like that's it.
So easy.
Tell me about it.
You literally just screw it on. They say 8 minutes or less.
That's amazing. So, okay, you had this fascination with gapes.
Yes. Okay. Sorry.
I love you, and this is making my day.
But any chance of talking about butthole health?
Hell yeah. Wait, do you have any like gems to sprinkle in?
Like
Butthole
educational.
health?
Yeah. So someone told me. Not someone, actually, this was a pelvic floor expert because that's just like the people I attract.
Yeah.
And they said one thing you never want to do is hold your breath while pooping. You're taking big, deep breaths because if you hold, it creates hernias. So like a lot of people like try to hunker down. Deep breaths.
That's actually my dad told me that when I was a kid.
Really?
He did, because I used to cry when I pooped.
Why?
I was like, I'm sad that it's leaving, but I think just because of like the screaming.
That's hilarious.
Like, when you're in elementary school and you're like, Shayna, I cry when I poop sometimes.
Yeah.
That was me. Yeah, I see dead people.
That's so fun. I don't even know where I went off.
Okay, so you were looking.
Butthole health.
Yes.
Tips. Yeah, just get a bidet. That's really, and obviously the thing where you put your legs up.
Oh, squatty potty.
The squatty potty.
Yes.
But if you have those, deep
You're
breaths,
set.
squatty potty, bidet, like you
Colon
are.
health.
Yeah, real colon. Gape health. But so I just started talking about like how I have big gape energy and like, I got big gapes. And I saw, like, I kept making this jokes. I'm like, I don't understand the bikinis and like all these like bodysuits with the vagina. Like, it's this small.
It does.
Whose vagina?
Everyone's lips are coming out the side.
Or they're chopping them off. Like, apparently that's the new thing. People are chopping their labias.
Just to make them shorter?
Yeah, to make them smaller. Yeah. It's not right. It ain't right. So I'm putting a stop to that. I'm stopping the movement. But I kept seeing these and I'm like, I got to just try this on. And then, of course, it just snowballed, into now it's like, because some of these are just insane. Like some of what the kids are up to, these trends. So, I have to do it for the people.
Those videos are the videos where I fell in love. I was like, this is amazing. Because you're just having so much fun while you're doing it.
Yeah, I giggles.
And that truly is
myself.
I think that is what makes good stand-up, if you're having fun while you're doing it.
Totally. Yeah, those are fun. It's, I'm really hoping it's a tax write-off at some point because I just have piles of the ugliest fucking clothes.
What are you going to do with all of them?
I, give James a little show, or I wear them on the streets.
Right.
The content never dies. I'm like, maybe I just wear these on the streets and just see what people think. That got some, some good laughs.
Obviously, you get the question about, having a big mouth and blowjobs. Mm-hmm. How annoying, how often, what's your response?
I feel like people just think I just sit around sucking wieners all day. And a mouth isn't just for wieners.
No.
I'm like, a mouth does a lot of other things and suck wieners all day. People literally are like, how many wieners? It's, especially with the weird guys who are
yeah,
what's the biggest thing you ever put in your mouth? It's your dad, you know, it's some, but it's, I get it. 'Cause it is, the sexualization, the society that sexualizes everything. So it's I'd just be silly with it. Of course I have a joke where it's people are like, wow, James must be really lucky. And I'm like, actually, he doesn't even like when I give him blowjobs because apparently my mouth makes his dick look small. And it's you just, LOLs. But I do give a sick blowjob.
For the record.
For the record, no. But yeah, it's silly. So that's why I try and make it more I'm not look at this sandwich.
Right. No, it doesn't feel sexual. It feels
hopefully not.
So this is amazing. So over COVID, you create this big platform so you can do, as much stand-up as you want.
Well, yeah. So that was always the idea behind it is okay, I can grow this audience and then slowly try to transition it more to being okay, I do have this big mouth, but I can do more than suck wieners with it. So that's why I try, all the sandwiches stuff, I've kind of slowly started to fade out and do more. And so how can I create content where I show off, my comedic side, but also keep it relevant and keep it on my brand. So that's, doing a lot of the challenges and stuff. But I'd always wanted to do stand up. And a lot of it is, especially on my stories, I get to kind of try out different bits or stories and stuff that might work. And now I get to, it's pretty cool. I get to I was just in Austin doing shows at Cap City and in Maine, and I'm going to Toronto next month. So it's
Me too. When are you
are?
Be there? Yeah.
I think it's, I need to double check when it's going to be. I think it's July 14th.
No, stop.
Shut up.
Are we going to hang out?
I know you're everywhere.
We've been traveling so much. We just moved, so we need to pay for it,
Right. Big bills. Yeah. That's
also I like to travel too, and it's fun. You get to do the most time on the road.
Totally. Well, especially when you get to do it with your partner, which is.
Does James travel with you?
He does.
Yeah,
he does. I know. Do you? I mean, you have to answer this in a nice way. But you like working with him full time?
Yeah, I do. I mean, we don't have to work together. We don't have to, but I think we really like it, and it's I don't know. It's fun to have someone with you when you're traveling that you love being with.
Totally.
So
yeah, that's what I know. It would be hard to be alone all the time on the road. That would be really. But I also I'm like maybe you could go out, go over there for a little bit.
I feel like we did work on developing it so it's not just us both doing stand up. We go on stage together at the end, which I think adds this level of personalization to the shows.
Yes.
And since we're so comfortable with each other, I feel like the crowd work is so much more fun.
Yeah.
So That's been like a really cool thing to explore. Like I love the videos that you and James make together.
I know. And he has a full-time job still too, which is, and he always is like, it'd be so nice. You know, we like one day he's like, girl's like, I'm your manager. I'm like, yeah.
You're not into it.
No, I'm like, keep your job. No, just like, we are like very much kind of opposites in the right way and similar in some ways. Yeah. And I love him, but it would be too much. And we already do a podcast together.
Right. So
we have like that thing. We do the videos, but I'm like, if we had to like be together 24/7,
yeah,
I would murder you.
A lot of people are like that.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, you know, some people who like work together 24/7. I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know. But that's what like any, you know, I'm a Scorpio. Like
I love that.
You know, like it's independent.
It's funny because like the videos, his demeanor is very much like he's not happy to be there. But behind the scenes,
he's from Wisconsin. He is like Mr. like, so whenever people like see him in person, they're like, oh shit, because he is so like, you know, I'm dead inside on like all the videos. So he's you know, he's Mr. Hunky Dory. He's kind of like Ted Lasso. Do you watch Ted Lasso?
Yeah.
He's like Mr. Positive, which is like so bizarre, but that's just the way it works.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, okay, what's on the horizon for you with stand-up?
So hopefully just doing more shows, trying to constantly develop it because, you know, like, again, I wasn't doing a ton of it before.
Yeah.
I'd maybe done like 4 shows before the pandemic.
Okay.
And then, you know, have been kind of developing it from there. So, and I do like some songs. I do, you know, I try to like have some of the same like kind of stuff. Like we do a challenge on stage, of course, with
really?
James. Yeah.
What's
like
the
grand
challenge?
Finale. Well, we have one that we can do, and like I know I'm not gonna break my neck.
Oh my god!
Even though like it might be like better to maybe have a little more danger in it, but it's this like Titanic like.
Oh my god!
One of the couple challenges, and I do some like live secrets, which I see like some other comedians doing it now too. But like the anonymous confession types, and then reading them on stage. You know, people having them submit it.
What's the craziest confession you've read?
Oh my god, live on stage. Well, it was funny. Austin's were like some of the craziest. There was one woman who was hooking up with a cop. And they were engaged and they were hooking up, and his pregnant wife, his 6-month pregnant wife, comes in, walks in on them having sex.
Did she know?
And she had no idea. They both had no idea.
He was engaged and married at the same time?
Right. And yeah. And now she was a lesbian. Now she has a partner. She was like,
oh my god, yeah. That is crazy.
That was crazy. That one just stuck out because, you know, we had a great little interaction. It was very funny. There's always like pooping stuff. People are always shitting themselves.
Yeah,
you know, people always shitting everywhere.
People be shitting.
People be, you know. I'd have to think of like some of the other ones. You know, and you just like black out on stage.
Yeah, 100%.
Like I literally like don't. Like I'm on stage, but like,
do you ever read one and you're like, this isn't true?
Definitely online, you know, but I feel like if you have to put a face, because a lot of times I'm like, is it cool if I call you out and we have an interaction?
Oh, so if you have to.
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I'm like, what happened? You know, I'm like, you know, and then she's like, so then you know, it's kind of like my like easy way of crowd work.
Right.
This kind of sets me up, you know, because I'm like, trying to get to do more of it, but scared, you know, it just like helps like in my little.
I like that.
Right?
It's unique though. It's fun.
And it's like something I do online and we do on the podcast. So I think people, you know, of course, like most people who are coming to the shows are people who are following me, you know, so it's like they know like that's something I do. So there's always like, you know, one, this one woman, she was like, my son my husband works in construction and has like these specific earmuff things, and he shoved it up his butt, and she had to pull it back out, and then she didn't tell her husband, and he just went to work with like
Ew. People will come up to you after shows and say the craziest things. Like,
insane.
I have like a bunch of butt plug jokes, but this woman came up to me drunk, crying this past weekend. She's like, what? I need to tell you, I had a butt plug and it fell out of my ass in CVS. And that's like basically your joke. And I'm like, that's not my joke.
No, you heard wrong.
And then we were going to go back to the green room and Dan's like, wait, this woman wants to tell me a story. And I was like, okay. And she comes over. She just tells us again that she had a butt plug fall out of her ass in CVS. And I was like, I mean, how tiny was the talk about big gapes?
Literally. It slipped right out of there.
Yeah, so that was
wow.
Some people
it's like, yeah, what do you say? I know sometimes people say stuff and you're like, what the fuck
and you're like,
am I supposed to say to you? You know, when people come up and they're like, my sister loves you. I don't get it, but my sister loves you. Can I have a photo? You know, like it's you know, some people are just weird.
No social skills.
Yeah, you know, you're like, thank you.
Okay, we all deal with shitty, especially like as female comedians, we deal with the shittiest comments ever online. Mm-hmm. So what is your method for dealing with the madness?
Well, normally I like to have a panic attack and then get into the fetal position and cry myself to sleep. No, I do, you know, therapy, antidepressants. No, I feel like at this point, it's like I've really gone through enough therapy where it's like anything that people say, it has nothing to do with me.
Yes.
Like, I'm like, it literally, you saw one video of me and like you have no judgment based on that. So, and it's almost, you know, like there's something that I did that triggered something, some insecurity in them that made them, you know, obviously very upset. So I try not to take it personally. And then, you know, if it is a bad day, then I cry and.
Do you delete negative comments? Like, do you recommend that?
If it's getting a lot of likes.
They can't win. I feel that. If I'm like, what, like there'll be a comment that's like, she sucks with like 3,000 likes. And
yeah, I'm like yeah, no, you did not.
Okay. But then when I don't have any mean comments, I'm like, I need these to boost my algorithm.
I know. Like, obviously, I'm not getting to enough people. I know. It's a roller coaster of emotions.
It is.
Yeah, because it's like, especially now with like my job and a lot of the way I make, you know, good portion of my money is through that. It's like, if a video's not doing well, I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And then a video does well, and I'm like, oh my God, everyone's so mean.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think it is important. What other people have to say has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
And everything to do with their own insecurities, which is
totally. Because there are some people that like I can't follow. You know, like I would never be at the point where I'd message them, you know, or DM or whatever and be like, you suck, like whatever. But there's still some people that like I can't follow because I'm like, they do make me insecure. Yeah. Like, you know, people that are like have like the perfect, you know, some of the OG influencers that are always still posting with the bikinis and stuff and the rich lifestyles. It's like, that is going to make me feel bad. Like, I'm sure she's super nice, but I'm sure she's a nice lady.
I'm sure she's so great.
I'm sure she's perfect. I can't watch it anymore. You know, like, I just can't. And, like, that's okay.
Did you always know you wanted to be a performer? Yeah.
I wanted to be a Broadway girl.
Me
like,
too.
You did?
Yes, I was a total theater kid. Yeah.
Me too. Did you sing too?
I did, but I stopped singing like in high school, but I wish I could sing still.
You still can. There's still time. It's never too late.
I know. I'd have to put my voice through so much to be good.
I know. Trust me. You know? At one point I was like so destructive because I feel like there was a portion of when I was working a corporate job that I was like, I'm never going to make it. And I was smoking like a pack a day and was just being rough on my voice. And I didn't talk like this, but I'm trying. I still take my singing lessons once a week, you know? Like,
I love that.
Just doing like singing lessons, you know?
I know. I feel like I need to find more things outside of like how I make money that I enjoy. And at the end of the day, that's like when I was a kid, it was tap class. It was singing lessons. It was improv. I mean, it was all of these things. I had like this feeling as a kid, like I know that this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. feel like, you know, what do they say? There's always like, if you were that kid that was like the class clown or like talked too much in class, like how is it being a performer? Yeah, there's something, you know, it's funny too, because obviously like doing the content creating wasn't a thing up until a couple years ago. Right. But I also feel like it is like a cool job because you do get to do a little bit of everything too. Like I feel like I do get to, you know, create different videos, but I can also do some food stuff. I can do the challenges and I can kind of like, you know, play around a little bit more. And then I get to do the shows. It's like kind of the best of both worlds.
You get more freedom about how you can.
Because like, you know, if I had like just done Broadway, you know, which is like, I felt like that was like the ultimate goal as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, it was like to be on Broadway. It's like, Broadway's not easy.
No, I don't want to do the same thing every single
8 shows a week. Like now I look at it, I'm like, hell no, that's so much work.
I know, but I would sit in the audience like
I know, being obsessed.
What was your favorite musical?
I'm gonna be so basic, but I loved Wicked.
Me too.
That was like the first one. Lion King, you know, it's like.
Were you an Elphaba or a Glinda?
I was an Elphaba.
Yes.
Of course. Yeah. The weirdo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She resonated with me so like I show my fiance songs from Wicked to help him understand me.
That's amazing.
I'm like, this is like Defying. I put on Defying Gravity. I was like, this is me.
Literally, this is me. This is actually me. No, it's funny how like, you know, and a lot of this music too has made a resurgence. Like Mamma Mia was also Hairspray. Like I loved always like the poppy songs because I loved like the soundtracks and sing. Yeah, and just like happy. Those were the days.
I had so I auditioned for Pippin in 7th grade. I got it. I was Pippin. No big deal.
Hell yeah.
But their audition song was Corner of the Sky, and there is a Jackson 5 version, and I accidentally learned that one instead. And like I went in and
they started the piano.
Yeah, and I was like, what? That's still my biggest claim to fame, though. That
Pippin,
7th grade
7th
star.
grade. Where did you grow up? Around here?
Yeah, in Queens.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
So you're born and raised girly.
I know.
New York girl.
I know.
And you never moved from here?
No, I lived in LA for like 9 months, but it was not necessarily for me.
LA.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
It's too like fake.
That's what it's like. Yeah, too fake. I'm like not very materialistic, and I feel like it's also just kind of way you grow up. Like I'm from Maine too, originally born and raised. Yeah. And it's like I'm just like not a materialistic girl. Like I wear the same shirt like every day, you know. And I've always felt so out of place when I was there because I was like, we just don't have the same wants in life.
I definitely get that. Yeah. What do you think is the best advice you've ever received?
You know what I think, especially like with all the internet things that I do now, it's like, now I'm like, what is the exact quote again? It was like, like everyone like thinks you're cringe until like you're cool, you know, until you're popular enough or until people like you. I feel like, you know that quote?
Yes, it's like,
what is it? It's like something about being cringe because I'm just like cringe in every moment of my life. Or like, you know, like everyone has to start out small. Like don't be scared to start small.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, especially when you're first starting out, like even with stand up, like I still am relatively new at it. And it's like people like, you know, like have come and been like, oh, because you have these many followers, like you can sell out this 700 person theater. And I'm like, I could, but like no one's gonna like that's all big for me, you know, like I can't do you know, that's way too much for me to just like, you know, a year into comedy be like, let's sell it,
let's go.
Yeah. Let me do an hour and a half in this theater. So it's like starting out small and making mistakes and like looking stupid. Right. That's really like, you know, been a lesson for me to, you know, especially with the many followers, it's like there are these certain standards and stuff. So
do you feel like you get like recognized a lot?
By like the kids, you know.
Is TikTok really like 8-year-olds?
Well, I just like think of like 22-year-olds are still like kids to me. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Okay.
How old are you?
33.
Okay. I feel like I looked that up. not like I looked it up. Like I wasn't like how old, but I feel like I saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I wasn't like how old is this person?
I talk about it too.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
I was like, I feel like I saw that somewhere.
Yeah. No, like I just feel, maybe
In your story, maybe.
Yes, probably.
I don't know.
Yeah, no. I talk way too much about everything, so I probably have shared that. But yeah, it's more like, or like the college. I think of like the college kids.
Yes.
Because this is like TikTok, they live and breathe on it.
Yeah.
And especially if they're in this area, especially around here, because it's so like geographical that it's like, if you're in, like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you're walking, you've been on TikTok in the last year, like, you've seen the Gape,
You've seen it.
You've seen the Gape. Because it's, just with the way TikTok works in this area. But I feel like some people, too, it's like they don't know, I feel like everyone is, like, socially awkward after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, people, like, I can see, like, people, like, are like trying to like look up, I can see them on their phones, trying to look it up.
And I'm like, is that person?
Yeah, they're like, are you the big mouth girl?
What makes you go with Gape? Why is Gape like your choice?
Because Gape just like makes me LOL. Like, it's so stupid. And it's Gape,
Yes.
And it's so funny whenever I say Gape girl, like in the captions, it always like the autocorrect always goes to gay pole. It's a gay pole. Gape girl. I don't know. I just think it's hilarious. And Gape sounds better than mouth.
Have other women like come out to you and been like, I also have a really big mouth?
I did, yes.
Really?
And I said, let's see it.
Yeah. If that were me, I'd be like, how big, bitch? You think you're really
want to mouth off?
Yeah.
Gape off. Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, show me what you got. Some have tried.
Yeah.
Some have tried, but they've all failed.
Yeah.
They can't go.
Tough luck.
Maybe do some more stretches. Get back to
What
me.
are your thoughts about, what are your thoughts about TikTok being threatened to be ripped out of our hands?
They always say that. You know, fear mongers is what I say. Fake news.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how they could ban. I can see like for certain age groups, and I think that would be healthy for like, you know, for them to restrict for, time length or whatever. I don't even know. I can't even imagine like growing up as a 15-year-old with TikTok. Like I can't even imagine. So I don't know. It's like, that's why luckily, like I try and grow Instagram. I'm trying to grow YouTube, like everyone else in the world, trying to like diversify. But if it happens, then we're all screwed. I'm like, luckily, at least it's not just me that gets kicked off.
Yeah.
We're all out.
Exactly.
Then there'll be some other stupid app that I'll have
platform.
to go shove something in my mouth on.
So when you go to these restaurants and they're like, hey, we'd love to, pay you to put our stuff in your Gape. Like, are they how do they act? I'm just like... Are they just stand there like?
Yeah, that's what it is. Sometimes so weird. Like everyone wants to watch, and it's like this seems very personal.
It's intimate. Like I imagine doing it at home. You're like, okay, like in my car.
Yeah.
But then when you're with strangers, you're like,
yeah. I know, like everyone, like wants to like, like some of the weird guys are like, yeah. That's why I love doing it in my car, because then I just feel like not all eyes are on me deep throating a sandwich. But
do you ever like spit it out after? Like, I don't want that.
No, I've never, because most of the sandwiches, like, they're gonna be like, do you like, and which I love most. Sandwiches are my favorite food. Yeah. So that's why it also kind of worked out, like, if, like, my go-to meal, sandwich. So there's never been a sandwich, like, I didn't like, So I haven't ever spit it out, but there's some that have been, like, really hot. I will say that's, like, been the worst, is, like, when they were, like, way too fresh out of the oven, and it was, like, just, like, I have had the entire, like, roof of my mouth, like, I know, yeah, like, bubble up. And it's so painful. Yeah. Because your mouth is, like, so sensitive. So that's probably the worst. Or, like, when something's really hard, like, there's, like, that really crunchy, like, baguette bread, and I'm like...
And it's, like, scratching you.
Scraping the inside. I'm like... Ah. But you know what? All in a day's work. Just another day at the office.
Another day at the office. That's amazing.
Clock in, clock out,
Wow. So, okay, do you like, as someone that also makes a lot of content, puts it out there, how much pressure do you feel to like make something, put it out every day?
Every second of every
like,
day
how
of
do you
my
take
life.
time for yourself, not on your phone? Like,
don't.
what is that?
What is that? I don't know. When you find out, let me know. No, I was just talking to my therapist about that this morning. I was like, I need to set better boundaries because it is hard, especially like there's always a way. Like with stories, it's like, oh, I could be storing right now. You know, like could I be? I don't know,
because it doesn't feel like just I'm like an addiction to being on my phone. It feels like an addiction to feeling productive and being like, oh, this will I can promote a show, I can sell a ticket, I can make money. I have at my fingertips this way to better myself, and it makes it so much harder to set that boundary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. That I literally was just having this conversation with my therapist.
What did she say?
She was like, you should try knitting.
No, you're like,
bitch.
I can video myself knitting.
Well, she was like, because I keep like, then I bite my nails out, I pick my eyelashes, I chew my skin in my mouth. Like I do all these picking things, like if I'm trying to relax and like fighting it. So she's like, you should try knitting or doing something. Cause I'm like, I don't want to draw. I don't want to go for a fucking walk.
I know.
I want something productive. And she's like, try knitting. So I'm going to fucking try it, and I'll let you know how it goes. But
oh man.
up the citalopram. I don't know. I don't know. There is like, I think that's something I'm working on is like setting boundaries and being like, it's okay. Like, and that's what social media also is like meant to do. Like it's meant to make you feel like I need to post right now. I need to post every single thing that I'm doing. You know, it's like, so when I think about it that way, I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm not going to listen to you anymore.
That's
Can't
cool.
bully me
That's
around.
true. It does feel like even like you just see something, you're like, I need to be doing that.
Yeah, you're like, shit, that girl's promoting her shit. I should get up and do that. You know, it's like, it's meant, and they're thinking the exact same thing. You know, like, it's nice when people are like, fuck, I don't want to do it. You know, like, I can't. I'm like, thank God, me either. You know?
Yeah. I think about, like, celebrities that have really made it, like, to the point where they don't need social media, and I'm like,
bastards.
I'm just daydreaming about the way they spend their days. I'm like,
I know, not thinking about.
They must be so healthy. I mean, I'm sure they're not, but in my head, they're like working out. They're making a homemade meal. They're making this, that, but they're probably not.
No, they're probably just as miserable as us.
Yeah. Do you work out?
I do, and that's something that like really helps me. I used to be a little chunker.
Really?
Yeah, I was like 220 pounds at one point.
And then what motivated you to like make a change?
I was just so sick, and I was like so super depressed. That was like my like real like slump phase. What do the kids call it? My flop era.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know.
I love this.
But I like was just super depressed. It was like that was when I was smoking like a pack of cigarettes a day, and I was like, I have to do something. I was like 27, and I was like, I have to do something. And honestly, that was when I started. I was like, I should start singing again. Yeah. Because my dad was like, you should do something that makes you happy and that you love and that has no pressure. And I was like, I'm gonna start singing. And then I was like, as soon as I started singing, he was like, you cannot smoke a pack of cigarettes a day and like try and like sing. And I was like, are you sure? So then I started vaping, which is so much better.
Problem solved.
Check that box. And then it, you know, so like I really was like by finding things. And then, you know, it really was like my doctor was also like, you're going to have a heart attack. Just because I was eating like shit and I was working like a crazy job, and but I do, and I hated when people said this too, but I do feel so much better when I'm working out.
Yeah, so it's something I know. Last night I did a workout video, and I did one this morning, and I am so proud of myself.
That's awesome.
Because you know what's interesting? I feel like the only reason I was able to do this workout video is because I watched it first just regular. Like a week ago, I just like I was like feeling like, you know, body dysmorphic and self-hating, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch a workout video so I know what to expect. But it actually made it feel less daunting, like doing it yesterday, because I was like, all right, I know what it's gonna be.
Yes, no surprises.
Yeah.
What is it? What workout were you doing?
Okay, it's like a 30-minute full body, no jumping,
perfect.
what's it called, no equipment. I just found it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Hopefully
that's a good way to start.
Hopefully I'll keep this up.
Get back in.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I run with my fiance sometimes. I do the treadmill.
Oh yeah,
sometimes.
he's like a huge runner, right?
Yeah, but it's like
I can't run.
I can't do it like he can.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know. That to me is like that boggles my mind.
the pain of running is like I want a quicker workout. Like the reason I like these videos that I did twice is that it's changing what you're doing so quickly that as soon as you hate something, you're done doing it. Whereas running, you're like 2 miles in, you're like, I'm gonna be doing this for another hour.
I know. And like that is like listening. Is he one of those people who just does it in silence too? No. Psychopath.
I mean, it's really impressive. I feel
so
like it like
impressive, and that is supposed to be like the ultimate form of like meditating, and like how I think it's called EDM. I think like the like a lot of people do like the tapping and stuff like that. Certain like in hearing the sound of your feet. I forgot
about the tap. What?
Yeah, like having these consistent like taps or sounds can just like calm the system.
Yeah.
So it's like. Is he like have no anxiety? Is he one of those people who's pretty?
He is very level-headed.
Yeah.
But like, I think we're both really similar, and that's like why our relationship works, because we're just very we're both only children. We both are like a little weird. And so just sort of
he's like I feel like he's one of those kind of like a James who just like he can just like raw dog a day. Like he doesn't need any meds.
No,
or, like,
it's impressive.
Yeah, he can go to sleep with nothing. Like no melatonin.
I know.
Nothing.
I'm down to 2 pills a day, and I wrote a song about it. Like I walk around like 2 pills a day.
That's amazing. If you ever release that, it'd be my top played song. 2 pills a day. I wish I could be on 2 pills a day.
It's so annoying when you're like, because like
how many pills?
I know
so many.
They come in like they come in only 25s, and I'm taking.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Listen, I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, but it is. I'm like, thank God. Like, if James was like over here also like popping multiple pills and stuff, I'm like, it would be a mess.
I know. I had one therapist. He's like, you can't be with someone else who has anxiety because 1/2 times 1/2 equals 1/4. I was like,
no.
You just dropped some math.
Yeah, I know. All of a sudden, I was like, wait, what?
What?
I'm going to trust you on that one.
I know.
I'm going to take your word for it because I can't check that.
All right. I guess that's logic.
Haven't done fractions in a minute.
So I feel like, are you working towards a bigger project right now?
See, this is another thing that stresses me out.
Yeah.
Is that I feel like anytime, like that's like always the question. It's like, what's your next big goal? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, can you tell me what my next big goal should be? Like, it's stressful. Like, I'm like, what should my next? Like, I would love to write a book one day.
Yeah.
I would love, like, those are like my big overarching goals. I obviously still doing comedy, like doing more tours, doing more shows. But like, just be happy.
Yeah. I feel that.
That's like my big goal. It's like, I'm like so happy where I am right now. It's like, I have my animals, James. I can do weird shit online without like too much pressure. Like I feel like I'm at a safe place where it's not like,
right.
I'm not like in the New York Post, or like anything crazy, So it's like I feel like I'm in like such a good spot that it's like I don't want to jinx it or like, but then I'm like I don't want to have any more.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need more,
like
followers.
that.
And, it's like, I feel like I'm in, like, a really good spot.
It's gratitude.
Yes. So grateful. What are yours?
I feel like just, like, writing more. I think I want to, like, record something in, like, a year or 2.
Yeah.
So, I guess just working towards that and...
Writing, like
more stand-up.
Yeah.
I'd like to book something, too. Working
Same.
towards that. I honestly like it does remind me of the question like when you graduate college, everyone's like, what's next? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I could see you doing so many long form things. Like I could just like imagine you having like a food show or like a long one woman show or like there's so many talents
I'll do anything
that you could really like.
I'll do anything.
I feel like I could sit back and watch like, put on Netflix, see some Sam.
Right. Like that was at one point too, I was hoping that's a tough game to get into. And like, it's funny, like I was talking with someone who produces like, foodie type of shows. And they're like, it also is like, it's tough. Like it almost like sometimes makes you hate food because a lot of times like you're doing these, these different tours of places, to go shoot food. And it's like, you have to do like 4 a day and you're like eating so much food and like you have to redo shots over and over. Like it makes you like hate the experience of eating it, why you love food in the first place. So it's like, and then you get unhealthy if you're like eating way too much on the, it's just this can be a slippery slope. So I'm like, so it's, and I get so bored so easily that it's like, if I was just doing like a food show or something, it'd be like, I feel like I would get bored after, So it is so nice when you have control. Like when I have my own TikTok and Instagram, it's like, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
Like if I got bored of doing some of the sandwich stuff, so I was like, I'll just try on these insane out, So it's like, and if I get bored of that, I'll be like, I'll think of something else to,
How often do people send you outfits like, try this next?
Not many, because most of the time I'm like shitting on them. This one company like sent me like this. I mean, it was basically lingerie, so I think it was like supposed to be lingerie, but I'm like trying it on, and I'm like, why does it look like this? So I don't know. I get some stuff, but I have to have brands that are open to doing comedy style stuff.
Right, like it's gonna be funny.
Right, like it's not gonna be serious. That's what's also tough is like trying to make my page more of the comedy stuff that I love to do, and then I have fun doing versus like some of this influencer style stuff where like of course I have like this agent that does and deals a lot with like my brand deals when it comes to social media, and she's always like, you should do more like makeup tutorials and like do more serious try-ons of like serious outfits, and I'm like, no. I'm like, you're putting on my blush, like I just can't. Like I feel like people would be like, what the hell? So it's like trying to find brands that are willing to like go, right, a little weird. That's why I like Tushy, like, trying to find brands that'll let me like be weird.
Dude, promote your Tushy code because I am really, it's Big Gape.
I think, well, what's funny is I just did one for them because they have a Father's Day sale that's specifically going on right now.
Maybe I should get that for my dad.
Yes. Oh my God. This is probably not coming out.
It's Sunday, Father's Day.
Oh, yeah, this probably won't come out before then. But even if Father's Day, it's a great gift in general. Because it's something unique and fun, and people are like, ooh, and it will, I swear to God, it will change your life. If it doesn't, like, you can come hunt me down.
I definitely want to get one.
I will pay you back for the tushy if it's not worth it. Money back guarantee.
No, I mean, everyone should have.
And Dan will love it. Like, and I feel like men are weird about that.
They don't want to admit it.
They don't want to, but James is one of those who's like, I don't know. And now I cannot get him off of it. I hear it going for like 20 minutes. I'm like, the water bill, James. But it's so nice. And there's a water temperature thing. So if you want it warmer, like sometimes when it's really hot out, I like it cold.
So have you guys ever like hurt yourselves doing those couples videos?
Did you see when we broke the wall?
No. Wait,
what?
Actually, I think
That was...
I don't know.
I've never seriously hurt myself. I've definitely got some bruises and like a couple times been like, oh, I'm gonna feel that on my shoulder,
Right. You broke but
we did break a wall
in your home. Was that?
And it was one of those where like he has to like hold me up on the wall.
Yes.
You might have seen it. If not,
I think I have. There's just like a hole in the drywall.
Yeah, there's just a huge hole, and it's like one of those things where like when it happens, like we both were like it was just such a good, like it's hard to catch stuff like that on camera,
Yeah.
But I was like, we both were like, and James just goes, fuck. And it was a pretty big hole. And, and during it, I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be so expensive. But then once we posted it, I think it's at like 30 million views. So it's like, So worth it.
Worth
Let's
it.
break another wall.
Let's break this wall. Fuck it.
What else can we break? Let's burn the house down.
Yes.
Just get it on camera.
I love that.
Die with clout. No, it's that one was probably the biggest fail, but it's like sometimes the biggest fails I'm like, yeah, I should like break my neck. Like that video would do great. Send me to the ER. Just get it on camera.
Have you thought about making shirts that say Big Gape Energy?
I did, and I sold like 2.
Oh, you only what? Really?
This was like when this was like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Because I feel like so many people were like, that's so funny. Actually, it said, make America Gape again.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, that's hilarious.
Yes.
And people were like, that's funny. I like where your head's at, but like, I'm not going to wear that in public. Like walking down the street, make America Gape again.
I love when people buy my merch and they're like, this is going to be a great sleep shirt. I'm like,
we're in the dark.
like, cool. No one will see it. That's the point.
Right. Yeah. So it's like, trying to find things that people are like, think is funny, but are actually going to wear. I had big mouth energy. That did better. But like anything with Gape, I think people are like, it's funny, but like I'm not actually gonna wear that.
Like, well, you should.
Yeah. I'm like, come on, it's funny. Gives people good LOL.
I think it's time.
Oh my God, yes. Tell me everything.
Also, sorry, I'm getting over being sick, but I'm fine.
Don't worry
We've
about
been
it.
tested.
Don't worry about it.
Here we are. So,
Oh my God, I'm so excited about this.
obviously we will read from, everyone's like, yes, I'm gonna read from the book.
Yeah, you have
I'm
the
not
whole
a
thing
magician.
memorized. Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you want to shuffle the cards?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I don't know if I've ever had my tarot cards read before.
Well,
I've had like some friends try to do it, and I'm like, you're not a real reader. This isn't
probably
real.
like slightly more qualified, but not much.
I trust you more. Here's the thing. Like cards to me are like fucking, like I feel like I don't even know how to work them. Is this how you shuffle? Wait.
There's no rules. Yeah, that was
Pretty
really good.
Normally they flop everywhere. Okay. That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, we've got some energy in there.
I feel good about that.
Oh my God. Okay, so we're gonna pull a card for, I don't know, what does Sam need to hear today?
What does my future hold?
All right.
Tell me.
Oh, it's the Son of Cups.
What does that mean?
Well, cups are emotion.
Okay.
And there's a swan.
I love birds.
Okay. I'm just gonna see,
It is pretty. There's a lot of color coming out of that cup.
So like the son, the mother, the daughter, and the father, they're all like people in your life that you know. So this is either like about you or about someone in your life.
Oh.
So, okay. The Son of Cups, artistic, introspective. Like all of the Cups family, the son truly excels within the arts. He's usually a musician or a visual artist of some kind, and he finds success within his field. His natural tendency to look inward adds to his charm and mystique. To others, he may seem secretive and even peaceful, while deep inside, he carries a dark kernel of intensity.
True.
That is a bit Scorpio, though.
That is. What are you? What's your
Sagittarius. Yeah.
I only know really Scorpio stuff. Not they're psychos.
But they're like mysterious, right?
Yeah, I guess, except I can't shut the fuck up. I feel like I'd be more mysterious if I stopped talking so much.
I find it hard to stop talking as well.
Yeah. But sometimes, yeah, I don't know. Maybe a little. Maybe I'm a little mysterious.
Do you know your other signs, like your sun and your moon and your rising?
I forget. I know. Actually, I think it's like Cancer. One of them's Cancer.
Okay. That's good.
That's all I got.
You're nurturing, emotional.
A lot of water. All I know is very water.
Yes, Scorpio's water. Or Scorpio's
water.
Water, yeah.
You know what? I want to say it's a Virgo.
Oh,
Is that water?
organized. I don't know.
I have like a couple of friends that are so good at that. Like, I have one friend that has it all memorized. Like, if I text her and said, "What are my signs?" She'd be like,
And she'd be like,
"Yeah,
can I meet her? I mean, what?
yeah." She's been trying to learn how to do this too.
Are your friends like super into what you're doing?
Yes, and I feel like some of them are like, "Wait, what?" Like I feel like some people. Like what? Like I have one friend that like thankfully like isn't on social media.
Oh,
Like she's like off social media. Like she like quit got off social media during the pandemic and like never looked back. So she like really doesn't get it, you know? So like I like being around her because she like
She's no clue.
She has no clue what's going on.
I love that.
And it's kind of amazing. But yeah, most of my friends are very supportive.
Yeah. Do they ask to be in your videos?
I have some that are like, can you tag me? I'm like, no.
It's like, you're not that good of a friend.
Yeah. How much you gonna pay me? Some do, but I think they know that it's like,
It's business.
it's business. It's not for you.
Hands off.
Build your own, blah blah. No, if you have a good idea, like, give me some ideas.
Do you feel like you like? We're gonna end soon, but do you feel like you have a very good understanding of social media because you've been able to use it to your advantage?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got any questions?
No, I just feel like I feel like don't give away your secrets. Do you give people advice when they ask, or are you kind of just like, this is personal?
Well, I think I'm just like, gotta figure, you gotta figure it out.
You gotta put the work in.
You just gotta and it's like, I always say, like, you can't be scared to look dumb and look like an idiot and be cringy. Like, cringe your little heart out. Like, cringe your way to the top.
Because no one cares.
No one gives a shit. Everyone's so worried about themselves. Like I don't even really care about other people because I am so worried. Like, I have like 4 conversations in my own mind going on. Like, I'm not thinking about what you just posted on TikTok.
Yeah, it's just such a freedom to give yourself the ability to be disliked.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, give yourself permission. It's okay.
Yeah.
Who cares that one person doesn't, and it's like, it's not you. It's just one clip or one little teeny bit of you,
Yeah.
of
it's
your
like,
content.
I don't like everyone. Why should?
Right.
But
and that's the secret. Cringe
your heart away.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, where can people find you?
Yes, if you search Big Gape.
Guinness Book of World Records. Do they pay you?
51. No, they don't pay me shit. But I feel like it's
okay.
more like the PR, the press that you get from it and all that. And it's still cool. I got my plaques. So I just wish they were like belts where I could like wear them on the streets.
That would be fun.
So people really know what the fuck's up.
You gotta get a tattoo.
I should.
Guinness tattoo.
Right on my forehead.
That's so cool.
It is pretty cool to be in the book.
Do you ever get worried that someone else will come like?
Yeah, I do. Every day I stretch her out.
Has it gotten bigger with time?
Sometimes I think it has.
Really?
I really do. But it's more like the kids convincing me. They're like, I think your gape is getting bigger.
You're like, okay, kids.
They make me insecure about everything. I never hated my arms until the kids. They were like, okay, man arms.
What?
Because apparently I have man arms.
No,
I
you
have
don't.
like dark hair and thick.
No.
Thick. What do they
No,
call
you
those
work
muscles
out.
again? Yeah, they're mean. They're so mean.
They are.
They'll
teach you new things.
I hate these fucking kids. Can you tell I'm going through it?
I'll have like a pair of pants I love, and then it's like
ugly.
Every comment is like, those pants.
And then like 4,000 likes. Blocked.
Yeah. But these people don't even know how fast I can block. Oh, you commented 30 seconds ago? Well, you're gone already.
Bye. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve my content. But no, you can find me. Obviously, TikTok, the Instas, Sam Ramsdell 5. Yeah, those are the big places.
I love
those
it.
Those are the 2 biggies.
And are you coming to any city soon?
We're going to Toronto, which we gotta,
Wait, where are you performing there?
Well, so there's a new little comedy festival that's going on there. It's like very small.
What is
It's
it?
like probably nothing. Like literally, I knew you were gonna ask that, and I'm like, I forget what the fucking name of it is. This is the first year they're doing it.
Oh, okay.
But they're like, so I'm like, I'll go. I've never been to Toronto.
Yeah.
So like sometimes too, it's like just for like $500. Like, yeah, I'll go to Toronto, pay for my flight.
Yeah.
I'll show you my phone after.
Okay, I'm gonna be there the 14th, 15th.
That's so funny. Wait, so what club are you gonna be at?
Comedy Bar.
Comedy Bar?
Yeah.
Are they the same one that does Chicago too? Maybe there's just another
there's
comedy
2 in
bar
Toronto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but there's probably
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah. And then have you guys done Stanford yet, by the way?
No, we haven't.
There's a new New York Comedy Club just opened.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm planning that, hopefully. I mean, it's nice because like there's a place too. Did you ever do BJ's?
Yeah, BJ Ryan's.
Yeah. Why? That face. It's his face.
Yeah. I had a great time. I think so. I did 2 shows where it's headlining, and they started seating the second show while I was in the middle of my set in the first show. And I was like, I kept it cool, but I was like, there's so many other comics that like this would not be okay. And then
a bit of a cluster.
I don't know. I think I would do a different room next time. But respect to the producers and stuff. They're nice people.
Respect. Mad respect. Yeah, it's just like a good spot. Like, because a lot of times I'm just like trying out a bunch of new shit, you know, that's like, so I can kind of do like almost like warm, like fake shows there, I feel like, where I can just
it's a fun little room.
Too. Yeah. And it's intimate. And I can do like a couple shows back to back, you know?
Yeah.
But, and then where else? Oh, I'm going to Florida in August, Fort Lauderdale. I forget the name of that place. That's too.
Fun. I get confused. Is Fort Lauderdale near Naples, or is it the other one?
I have no idea. I have absolutely
Fort
no
Myers
idea.
and Fort Lauderdale confuse me. Like the two.
All the forts. So many forts.
Too many forts.
Too many forts. And there's actually no forts there, so it's very
fucked up.
Straight fucked up. Where's the fort? But it's all, it's all on my social media. If you go to my socials, I'll be
follow. And
I'd be promoting.
Any plans for what's going in the Gape next?
I don't know. Comment below what you think I should put in my Gape next.
Well, Sam, thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun.
Thank you.
And
so nice.
You can find us on youtube.com/Natalie Cuomo, iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all that stuff, Patreon, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Yeah, bye.